Hey guys, Cinemaniac77 or Donnie did a nice video yesterday in honor of Frank Sinatra's 100th birthday, December 12th, 1915 was when he was born. And he did a great video showcasing what he owns in the way of Frank Sinatra stuff, memorabilia, whether it be books or CDs or movies, etc. And I thought I would do likewise. So here is my effort along those same lines. My collection of Frank Sinatra stuff. And I'm going to start with a book, just like Donnie did. And my book is Frank Sinatra, an American Legend. This is by Nancy Sinatra, his daughter, of course. Let's see if I can get this in a decent spot here. I like this book. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's got a lot of unique pictures. And the nice thing about this is, of course, Nancy Sinatra had access to photos that perhaps no one else would, being his daughter. And Frank Sinatra was still alive at the time, though he was at least 80. By the way, I saw Frank Sinatra in concert years ago, about 4 years before he died. I saw him, and maybe it was 6 years before he died. In any case, it was toward the end of his touring career. He had to have a teleprompter and so on. You can see this takes him through when he was with Tommy Dorsey. Harry James before that. Here's the Swooners. He used to pay to have women in the audience swoon for him, and that helped to establish his reputation, and then he kind of took it from there. But the guy had a great voice. He was known as the Voice. You can just see some photos here. There's the Voice. A really good book here, though. I'm just going to flip through pages here fairly quickly, but you get an idea of what's in here. Now, this also has, here's a family, UB Mayor, MGM. Nice. From Frank Sinatra. Really like a book like this. And when I'm listening to some Sinatra music, it's nice to be able to leaf through something like this. And I do listen to Frank Sinatra music quite often. I'm a big fan. So I've lived through this book many times. There is the lovely Ava Gardner. I'm going to flip ahead here quite a bit. See some later stuff in his life. But everything is filled here with stuff, though. Mia Farrow, short-lived marriage there. With Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis and so on. Well, this is his... this is Frank Sinatra and his father. His father was a tough guy. Winning the Oscar. He retired somewhere in the mid-60s, then made a comeback about 2 years later. Retired from touring, retired from making albums, and made an album called Old Blue Eyes Is Back. And then had another concert. It was the main event at the Madison Square Garden is when he first made his comeback. And then here's some later years. September of his years. You get an idea here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm flipping quite a few pages here ahead. What I do really like, there's a CD here in the back. The CD is Frank Sinatra, an American Legend. And it's really cool because what it does is kind of encapsulate his whole career, or good portions of it. And I'll show you, let's see here. Yeah, here's what's on the CD right here. Not sure how well you can read this, but starting out way back, let me lift this up a little bit. Starting back in 1936, the Major Beau's original amateur hour, his first radio appearance is on the CD. Fred Allen radio show, his farewell radio appearance with Tommy Dorsey, the Hollywood Bowl with the LA Philharmonic, your Hit Parade radio show, then the Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, Bing Crosby Bing Crosby in Speech from the House I Live In. Academy Awards acceptance speech for the House I Live In. Lucky Strike Light Up My Time Radio Hour. From Here to Eternity, a scene from that. Academy Awards acceptance speech. Tommy Dorsey tribute dinner from 55. It's all in order. A Rat Pack show from the Sands in Las Vegas. Noel Coward introducing Sinatra. Yeah. John F. Kennedy inaugural gala. Frank and Nancy from the television special, A Man and His Music Part 2. Richard Nixon talking about Sinatra. Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra on stage. And finally, Bono of U2 introduces Frank Sinatra to the Grammy Awards before presenting him with the Grammy Legends Award. Yeah. Nice. So that's the book. There's the front cover of the American Legend. And there's the back. Yeah, it's pretty thick, too. Let me get that over there. Pretty thick book, and a pretty heavy book, I can tell you that. So let me put that to the side. Then we're going to the CDs now. The first one is Frank Sinatra and Sextet, live in Paris, June of 1962. It was a very romantic Sinatra, playing for a French audience in Paris. And, yeah, great stuff, great song selection on this one. Maybe a little hard to read. But things that he didn't often do, like I Could Have Danced All Night, I Love Paris, and the things that he did a lot, like Chicago, They Can't Take That Away From Me, Come Fly With Me. A lot of good stuff here, though. Moonlight in Vermont, in particular, I think is a beautiful song. So there's that for CD. Put it up here somewhere. There we go. Next, let me just go in some sort of order here, I guess, with these CDs anyway. This one is my favorite of the single, not box sets, in other words. It's Count Basie and the orchestra, arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. Sinatra at the Sands. This is prime 60s Sinatra. I don't remember the exact year this was done. Somewhere in the mid-60s, as I recall. But the songs on this are just, pardon my reflection there. Come Fly With Me, I've Got a Crush on You, I've Got You Under My Skin. Look at these. One for My Baby, One More for the Road. And then he comes back after a little bit of a break. You Make Me Feel So Young. All of Me, which was his first big hit back in the radio days. September of My Years, which I really like. Luck Be a Lady. It's a very good year. Angel Eyes, great song. My Kind of Town. Great concert. Really love this one. May have the year down there someplace. My recollection was mid-60s, which would be a good time to see Sinatra. Great voice. And great show. Put that one up there someplace. Get a little bit of... There we go. Now, next up was Frank Sinatra's 80th live in concert. Sorry for the glare. This is a little shorter show. He was old. I saw him when he was 78, I think. I think I saw him in 1992 or something like that. I can't remember now anymore. Somewhere around there. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. What Now My Love. For Once in My Life. So these are a lot of, other than Strangers in the Night, Soliloquy, of course, was one that he was famous for. Angel Eyes, New York, New York, My Way was famous for those. Not a great, I like it because it was about the time I saw him a couple years later. It was still a great voice, just not what he used to be. And then this one, the first of the box sets. This is the Capitol years. I've got the Columbia years, the Capitol years, and the Reprise, or Reprise. I like Reprise better. Collection. It's just, this is 3 CDs. a chock full of songs. This might be my favorite of the three. I don't know. It's hard to say. Favorite as far as songs go, maybe not the favorite as far as packaging is concerned. Although I do like the packaging on this. You can just see what's. I've got the world on a string. There are two arrangements. This is the string-heavy arrangements with a Capitol collection. The Reprise got more brass and a little bit more beat going on. Some of the same songs done over again. Comes with a nice book inside. Each of the discs looks similar. And then you've got this booklet. Pretty thick booklet, actually. Talks about each song. A lot of pictures. Good stuff. Frank Sinatra, The Capitol Years. That's that. Now I've got the two that I referred to, and that's the two box sets. The first one my wife got me when we were dating some years ago, when it first came out. Mid-90s, I think this came out. This is Columbia year. So this would be the early stuff he did. After he left the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, but before the 60s. So this would be 40s, 1940s, before the 50s too. Let me take a look at the years on the, well, the years aren't in the back. The years are in a booklet inside of this. Show you the inside of this. 4-disc collection. And see if I can figure out when the years were. I believe it was all the 40s, late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, disc 1 starts out in 1943, which is when it was recorded. And then the last recording is 1952. So you've got that roughly 10-year deal there. Here's a picture of him from about that time period. Looking pretty darn young. Between the 40s and the 50s. This booklet has a lot of stuff in it. Information about the songs. Of course, a lot of pictures and so on from that time period. Showing a lot of the singles that he made. This was a big hit time for Sinatra. And he was a very, very popular recording artist at that time. So that's that's Sinatra. Columbia years. Squeeze it in there so you can see the whole thing. Really like that one. And then what are a lot of people's favorite collection. It might be mine too. It's really nicely done. It's got a linen outlay on it. 4-disc collection again. So the book is made part of it. So you've got the Reprise collection. 4 discs. And then this book in the middle here. Still have allergies and the cold. It's terrible. Give you an idea here. This is kind of neat. Shows all these albums that he made. Yeah, this is a nice album. This is typical Sinatra here. When people think of Sinatra, this might be what they think of. Kind of the swinging Sinatra. His voice had changed. It had gotten a couple octaves lower. He took advantage of that. So a lot of these songs these are the second time he did them. Sometimes the third time. Put a little more swing into them. Anyway, that is the Reprise collection. Now, on the DVD side, the only thing I have on the movie side, and it's not Frank Sinatra in it, but I really like this miniseries that came out with Philip Kasnoff in the role of Sinatra, and it is simply called Sinatra. I watched it when it came on television some years back, really enjoyed it. It takes him from his early years through his time with Harry James, and then leaving Harry James to go on to Tommy Dorsey, and then getting out of the Tommy Dorsey contract, which really pissed off Tommy Dorsey, moving into movies, and then his own solo career. And up until his affair with Yeah, Ava Gardner, his shaky marriage as a result. Of course, his children, Nancy, Tina, and Frank Jr. And then up until the time he lost his voice, or seemed to lose his voice, or seemed to have change in his voice, and then his comeback, and it ends with his comeback. It ends with a great version of My Way. I'm sorry, That's Life, not My Way. That's Life, which is one of my favorite Sinatra tunes. Really swings, and you know, he had the whole swagger thing going down there. Moved from the crooner to the swinger, I think, and that's about where we leave him in this movie. But great movie. Never seen it. 2 discs. The first disc here, I gotta bother to turn them. The earlier Sinatra, I guess I will. It's easier than I thought. And then the later Sinatra, actually about the same in it. He did a great job, the actor. Real nice job. And there he is pictured with, there's the actor pictured with Sinatra. Yeah. About the time the film was made. Tina Sinatra had, I think, produced this. That was good stuff. There you go. Covers more than 50 years. Beginning with his boyhood and ending with the 1974 return from retirement. Great stuff. Okay, next. And really, this is probably, I mean, I'll show you this, but I don't really feel like this is a Sinatra thing per se, though he's in it. So I'll just show it because he is in it, and I'll put it to the side like the book. This is the That's Entertainment Complete Collection. I got this from somebody off of eBay for cheap. It's got a lot of musicals, scenes from musicals and so on, scenes from television shows that featured things from musicals. It's the complete collection. He's mainly on the first one, That's Entertainment, but there's all good stuff. 4-disc collection. That's Entertainment is mainly what he's on. Guys and Dolls and things like that. The musical stuff. So anyway, that's that. So the last thing, and the thing I really wanted to show, I guess the most, something I got from my dad, which makes it means more to me than any of the other stuff I have, is from Shout Factory. This is Frank Sinatra, the Concert Collection. And it is a rather thick situation here. It's got 7 discs. I'm sorry, more than that. 2, 4, 5. Yep, 7 discs. I was right the first time. Yeah, the first 2 are 2-disc sets, and then 1 in each of these. And you can see what you've got. You've got a bonus disc, The Concert for the Americas, Primetime, Around the World, and A Man and His Music, The Collection. Again, all by Shout Factory. They always do a nice job. Here is the back. Give you an idea. Some of these are 4 hours long. These are 7 DVDs and over 14 hours of television and concert performances. As you can read, as I'm reading. Classic stuff. Here's the side view. It is a thick collection, no doubt. So let me show you, and then there's a book that comes with it. So let me start with the book. And then show you some of the discs that come with it. Here's the book. It really represents a lot of his career here. It's the main event. There's Count Basie. Oh, Fitzgerald. That's what's it, Joe? Yeah, I can't think of his name. The Bossa Nova guy. Yeah. Antonio Carlos Jobim. That's who I meant. He and pardon me, I'm watching the actual book and not watching where I'm putting it. Here we go. Give you an idea though what's in the book. It's a nice book. It goes with it. You got a bonus disc, and all the discs look, I guess, sort of similar. It has a nice backdrop on it. Between Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, they did a lot of great Christmas songs. So the holiday one, the holidays with Happy Holidays with Bing and Frank here is pretty neat. They do, packed with holiday classics and plenty of Christmas cheer. Yeah, good stuff there. You're going to hear White Christmas and all the hits. Good stuff. Concert for the Americas, which I think is I've been watching, so yeah, it should be empty. Got that. Concert for the Americas was good. It was later Sinatra, but it had a great list of stuff. You see this would be a typical one. He did something, but he actually got it right. He had been saying in many concerts that I've seen that great song by Lennon and McCartney, when in fact it was by George Harrison, but he still changes the words to make it fit him. But great song. The House I Live In is a great song. There's a lot of great songs here, as you can see. Yeah. Primetime Sinatra. And this is going to have a variety of things on it. Special guest Diane Carroll in The Fifth Dimension from 1968. 50 performances, 52 minutes long, and you've got another 52-minute long featuring Don Costa and his orchestra. Early rendition of My Way. And then Sinatra and Friends from 1977, supposedly rarely seen. Guests include Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, Natalie Cole, Loretta Lynn, and John Denver, all of whom return one by one for a final embrace with Frank as he sings the Paul Anka penned Everybody Ought to Be in Love. Now these are always great times here, these TV specials he did. Here's Around the World. And this is going to feature 3 or 4 shows from different times. Old Blue Eye is Back, filmed at a soundstage from 1973. From 1974, The Main Event. Yeah, this is a great thing there. This is, I remember this. I was young, but I do remember this. Howard Cosell narrates it to some extent before he starts. Then in 1970, a concert at Royal Festival Hall. Princess Grace of Monaco, Grace Kelly, introduces him. The beautiful songs there. And then from Japan in 1985, this might be the best one of all these. It's an incredibly rare concert. Has only been released in Japan. Making this collection a must-have for Sinatra fans. Entering his 70th year, Old Blue Eyes never sounded better. Yeah, he's really good on this one. He really is powerful, and 71-minute performance there. You can see the other ones are all almost an hour. There's almost 4 hours worth of entertainment here. In fact, I think it's over 4 hours of entertainment. Anyway, that's 2-disc set. And then finally, A Man and His Music, the collection. This collects both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of A Man and His Music. Yeah. So you've got the 52-minute 1965 special, then this 51-minute 1966 special. Yeah. 67, A Man and His Music with 52 minutes, and then finally 50 minutes, 1981, with the Count Basie Orchestra. So you've got a wide variety. Again, almost 4 hours worth of entertainment here. And I'll just show you this, just to give you an idea. You get Man and His Music kind of 1, and then kind of 2. I really, really, really enjoy this set. I find it to be very entertaining, and really probably the best part of my Frank Sinatra collection is right there, because it encapsulates him as a performer. Tons of just great gems on it. And that's usually what I'll watch or listen to when I'm skimming through the book. Great stuff. That is my Frank Sinatra collection. Sadly, no movies by Frank Sinatra, but I always thought of him as less of an actor, although he was great. I do have the Manchurian Candidate someplace. I just can't find it. I think it's downstairs in this big crate of, not crate, the TV sits on it. It's a big entertainment stand, and it's filled with DVDs underneath. It's probably in that. I just haven't brought it up here to the movie room. All right, guys, that is it. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed Frank Sinatra when he was alive, and we're fortunate to be able to have a lot of this music and a lot of this entertainment on Blu-ray, DVD. All I have is DVD and CD. And that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you're not already. And Donnie, thanks for reminding me that December 12th was Frank Sinatra's 100th birthday. I saw a great 100th birthday special to Sinatra last night, so it kind of made me tune in. It was on the Pops station somewhere around, I think it was like 10 to midnight. Hopefully they'll play it again. I caught it after it had already started, but it was pretty good. Of course, it's not going to be as good as Sinatra, but it was good. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. Take care.